Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for our e-Gurukula sessions. Today is Wednesday. Yesterday we could not had our Mahabharata story discussion. So yesterday we did Krishna Lila. Today we'll continue our Mahabharata episodes. Yesterday was there Krishna Lila, all of you discussed?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So this Mahabharata stories, or for that matter, there are so many amazing episodes described by the great devotees like Vyasdev and all. They have been written it down and performed by the Supreme Lord. They have a great importance. Srila Prabhupada writes about the Bhagavad Gita Pat. I'll show you here. 17.16. Is it visible? Are you able to see here? 16. Text 16.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Srila Prabhupada says in this Parapatam how the mind is important to keep pure. 5S formula, you can remember. Prabhupada says 5S things. Mana prasada saumyatvam naunam atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhirityeta tapomana samuchyate. So what are the 5S? Satisfaction of mind, simplicity of mind, soberness of mind, that is called as a gravity, self-control, and sanctifying one's existence, that is purification of oneself. These are the 5S formula. So how it is possible, especially mind needs some kind of things to engage very nicely, right? And that's what Prabhupada writes here. Yeah. The best course is to divert the mind to the Vedic literatures, which is full of satisfying stories, as in the Puranas and the Mahabharata. One can take advantage of this knowledge and thus become purified. So we want to cleanse our mind, we want to make our mind pure. So this is a very one sure short way Prabhupada is writing. So that's why we're discussing Mahabharata or so many other episodes of Lord Krishna's Leelas and all. So that some or other mind becomes engaged. And then when Lord goes inside, then it will get purified internally, right? So the spirit should be kept in mind. It's not just for the sake of information or some knowledge. That's okay. But then main goal is Mana Krishna Niveshayat. Ena kena prakarena Mana Krishna Niveshayat. Some or other let the mind get absorbed with Krishna consciousness. So let us begin with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Shakhanathamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadeshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabhakto Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So let's see what's happening in Mahabharata now. What is the episode going on? Mahabharata, part 1. Yes, I remembered. Yes, who remembered? Yeah.
But martial exhibition program.
No. That was the title, but not there. Something else was going on. No. Jasit Prabhu, Shubham Prabhu, that was a side point. Yeah, that was one of the point added in the what's happening here in the details.
Duryodhan planned to kill, but to Alexa, he can't. He can't die.
That was also over. Yeah, that was also one part where we stopped. That's how now we're going to continue further.
So after the Pandavas met a Brahmana, they go back to Hastinapur to inform to Bhishma.
Yeah, correct. All if you remember, the ball had fallen into the well, and the Brahmana, how he takes the ball outside. Who remember? Now you remembered.
Prabhuji, he took a few grass and
Blade of grass.
he uttered a mantra and
Yes.
threw the grass one by one, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
It became
correct.
like a rope and then
He picked up the ball outside. Yeah. So one more interesting thing we got to know, there was one more son of Dhritarashtra apart from the 100 sons. What is his name? What was his name? No. One more son of no. Yuyutsu. Right, Yuyutsu was the one who was well-wisher with the Pandavas and all. He tells about the news. Yeah, so that's what here. Yeah, after that we read about how Drona became the teacher, but problem was not Drona, Kripa. Kripa was a teacher, but he was not having a celestial weaponry knowledge. That's why they were looking for somebody more better who can make the Pandavas, basically all the Kuru children's perfect, mastering all the knowledge. So Kripa says about his past. We read how his father was got been allured, and then Kripa was born. It was been adopted by the kings of Duryodhana, and then that's what he was being grown, right? So now this Brahmana's entry comes, and then the ball gets out. The princes were astonished. This is truly wonderful, but let us now see you raise the ring. So the ball was raised, and then the ring was also raised. Brahmana very skillfully with the arrow shooting, and then the rings also comes out. So this is very special additional knowledge. Expertise. So then that Brahman said he would wait till that the Brahmin told them to go to Bhishma and describe what they had seen. He would know his identity. Bhishma will recognize who is this person. The Brahmin said he would wait there until they returned. Thus the boys ran back to the city. Are you all able to see on the screen, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. And told Bhishma everything. When he heard the tale, his eyes shone with joy. Right? So when we hear about something, right? Either a good news or a bad news, accordingly the expression comes on a face. Right? You all notice, like let's say you got a news. Haribol, you got the first rank. Immediately we become so joyful. Or it says, Prabhu, Haribol, you failed in the exam. Horrible, not Haribol. So then immediately face becomes morose, because those incidents affects us as per our thoughts and then our understanding. So Bhishma became elated hearing the news about this person. Surely this could only be Drona, the disciple of his own martial teacher, Parshuram. So Parshuram is here also. Bhishma had learned from Parshuram, it seems here it is being said. Bhishma had heard much about Drona from the rishis. This was certainly providential. The princes could have no better teacher. Bhishma went in person with the boys to see the Brahmin. Finding, as he had suspected, that it was Drona, Bhishma immediately offered him the position of a royal teacher. Drona accepted and went to Hastinapur with Bhishma. So that Brahmin was none other than the Dronacharya. Drona Acharya. Acharya means the teacher. Right? And whose disciple is Drona? Drona learned from whom? Hare Krishna. Drona learned from whom? Just now we read.
Parshurama.
The Parshurama. When they were back in the city, Bhishma had Drona tell everyone of his history. Drona looked around at the eager-faced princes because, like, let's say some great person comes, we want to know about his history, about his past, right? How you are so amazing, how you learned, where are you from, and things. So all the princes, the boys of Hastinapur, his students, they were eager to know about him. They wanted to know everything about this unusual Brahmin. He was the son of Bharadwaja, the all-powerful rishi who had dwelt for thousands of years in the deep forest and who not long ago had finally ascended to heaven. So it looks like recently Bharadwaja also left to the heavens. Although he too was a Brahmin, Drona was inclined toward martial arts. Right? So Brahman, and then there are Kshatriyas, right? Vaishyas and Shudras. So although the father was a Brahmin, but Drona was inclined towards martial arts. So kind of a Kshatriya spirit. While living in his father's hermitage, he had learned the science of arms from Agni Vesha, another powerful rishi. So he had also received the knowledge of the celestial weapons from the great Parashuram. Despite having such great learning, however, Drona remained a poverty-stricken Brahmin. Now it comes the another historic episode. Right? So Drona remained a poverty-stricken Brahmin. So, of course, having a knowledge doesn't necessitate that one will get a wealth with that knowledge. But somehow Drona could not able to get the poverty, his situation come out of the poverty stricken. He could hardly maintain his family. Thus he had been on his way to Hastinapur, hoping to be engaged as the princess's teacher. So I think here this will not be mentioned, but all of you know, right? Who was having a fight with Drona, and initially friendship, and then later it turned out to be fight.
Prabhuji, Drona and Drupada.
Yeah, Drupada. So that's what. Anyway, that I think later it will be described. We'll read there. So he came for engagement, some kind of job requirements, so that he can use his knowledge to offer some service, and then he can be maintain his family. So who else you remember who was also poverty-stricken Brahmin, and then he was also looking for. I mean, he was not looking, but his family was looking for some kind of support. Who else was a poverty-stricken Brahmin? Yeah, the Sudama, the famous story of Sudama, all of you know. But Sudama personally, he was completely detached, right? He was not much looking for some things, but his wife and family, seeing their situation, he goes to meet Lord Krishna. So Bhishma said, make your residence here in the city. You shall enjoy every luxury along with the Kurus. Indeed, the Kurus are at your command. Whatever wealth, kingdoms, and followers that belong to our house are also yours. So this is a respect given to the teachers. Right? Nowadays, unfortunately, in the schools or the universities, right, nobody much gives a due respect. I mean, Acharya Devo Bhava. We read, na? Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru, they say like that. So treating the Acharya, the teacher, this is for a martial art. Then what to speak when we really learn the spiritual science, how much at the great level one should treat the spiritual masters and the teachers. So Bhishma offered him all the status of the Kurus. O best of the Brahmins, it is our good fortune you have arrived here. Drona was given a large, well-furnished house stocked with everything enjoyable and attended by many servants. He then brought his wife and son to Hastinapur to live among the Kurus with him. And he accepted both the Pandavas and Kauravas as his disciples. So the teacher came to the student's place. Generally, students go to the teacher's place and learn. But here we see the teacher has come to the student's place and then settling there. Drona taught the princess everything he knew about the weaponry. The boys practiced every day from dawn till dusk. As the news of his martial school spread, princes from other kingdoms also came to learn from the famous Drona. Right? Famous institute. Students, they join the schools or institutes. So Drona Martial Institute started in Hastinapur. The Vrishnis, the Andakas, and the other famous and powerful dynasties sent their princesses to Drona and accepted them all as his pupils. Soon Drona had thousands of students. Right, so amazing. So Drona could set himself with the help of Bhishma and Dahasta. Among all the boys, Arjuna excelled at his lessons. Arjuna was a topper. He remained always at Drona's side, eager to learn any little skill or extra tips. His ability, speed, perseverance, and determination were unequaled by the other princes. Arjun became foremost. Drona felt none could match his skills. So when we learn, or when we join some schools or something, so generally it is observed somebody will be excelling a great in skills and abilities, right? So the Arjuna was one. And what was the special qualities you highlighted about Arjuna? What was his special qualities has been described as a student? Who noticed?
Eager to learn.
Yeah. Here Gudakesha is not mentioned as such. Although he's especially here what is eager to learn. Yeah. He was, that's why Gudakesha, night time he used to study and so eagerness. Eagerness to learn, not only the scheduled lesson, but any little skills or extra tips. You see, right? So when Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur noticed Abhay when his initiation was given, what Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur remarked? When
He
they
hears.
not only hears, but he likes to hear. Right. I know he likes to hear. And immediately Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur gave him initiation. So that eagerness, interest, the desire, it's very, very much important to have. Okay, somehow we miss because of our exams or other engagements and all. So do we cover up while completing the lessons ourselves or taking help of friends or other things and then complete the lessons to be learned or whatever to be followed? So eagerness is the only prize. Lord is ready to help, provided we are ready to, provided we are eager to step ourselves. So we don't need to have any additional, achievements. Then only one can become a devotee. No, just keep that desire, eager to serve, eager to learn, eager to question. There are so many things, right? His ability, speed, perseverance, determination. So these are the noble qualities of the student. Even who else remember who showed these qualities while being with the Guru's ashrama? All the famous students we read in the scriptures. These are the parallel qualities as a good student everyone should have. Who else? Whose example you all remember? Who also showed the similar qualities while learning?
Prabhuji, Krishna and Balram.
Okay, Krishna and Balram, yeah, they also learned 64 days, 64 kalas. Yeah, okay, good. In our Ramayana sessions, if you remember, the first session we did.
Vishwamitra will ask Dasharat Maharaj to
Lord Rama and Lakshmana.
Lakshmana to stay with Me for sometimes.
There also Lord Rama exhibited all these wonderful qualities. So we also, not only, obviously, it is very much important to be in Krishna consciousness with these things. Eagerness is very, very important. Without eagerness, very difficult. Then that becomes the force. That's why we don't put any invite, or nowadays we don't call. Those who are eager, they will come and join and learn. Otherwise, okay. Because force for long time, it's not good. Initially is okay to put reminder, to put a message and call the students and then join. But later one should understand, okay, yes, this is needed for us. This is something which we should learn for our lives. Eagerness should be there. And not only for our Krishna consciousness, even when you do your college, your school studies also, right? One should be eager to learn very nicely your subjects. Otherwise, then that people will misunderstand. They will say, "Arey, keep a mute." Yeah. If people will say, "Arey, what is this? He's a devotee of Krishna, but he is lazy in the class. He's not doing his studies. He's not properly paying attention." So no. We should put the best. I know many of you are very good at your studies. Many of you are toppers also in your school. So at least we should put our best efforts. Sit in the first bench, not in the last bench, and then talk with the other boys and all. Make a notebook and pen and make a notes. How many of you make notes here also in the session? How many of you are maintaining a notebook? It's a good practice, yeah. At least soft copy or hard copy, whatever way, yeah. Yes. So one should, because you're giving your time, right? So it should not just a learning, but it should record it also, so that something to chew upon and then contemplate and then look into life, it becomes very important then. Otherwise, it will just attendance, but not much change. Same thing, your college, schools hours, now it is online or offline also there. Some of them might have going on now. So one should be taking a notes nicely and doing our studies properly. Right. So at least one from our side, we should do best. So eagerness. Now, out of his natural fatherly affection, Drona also wished to impart extra lessons to his own son, Ashwatthama. So naturally, as a father, so if father wants to see his son to become more better also. So apart from Arjun, he thought of to teach some extra lessons, some additional lessons to Ashwatthama, which is not given to other students. He gave all the princesses narrow-mouthed water pots and asked them to fill them at the river. But to his own son, he gave a wide-mouthed pot so he could return first and receive extra teaching. Right? But now he cannot show partiality in front of all. So he put a test. Who will do this first will learn the extra lessons, extra formulas, extra methods. So there's given a water pot, and who will bring the water first. So, but for his son, he gave a big mouth pot so that he can fill quickly and then come fast. So Arjuna realized Drona's intentions, and he filled his own pot with the celestial water weapon, and thus returned even before Ashwatthama. Right. So Drona smiled when he saw Arjuna's determination. His desire to learn from his preceptor was beyond compare. So Arjuna was so eager. He said, I will not miss any single lesson also. For that, anything you want me to pay the price, I am ready. Right. So this is a quality of a student. So this is something new to learn as a skills. But in Krishna consciousness also, Srila Prabhupada was sitting in the classes of his spiritual master. He used to say, we were not understanding his language. It was so high in his English. But still we felt that the words of coming from his mouth will make us purify our consciousness. So let us just sit down and hear. So this is something okay. Here something new things, new tricks and new skills we're learning. But even for something, even you don't understand, but still you sit and listen with the great eagerness, that is even more, right? So Prabhupada taught us. So that's why one should, although we may not like speaker, although we may not like the subject, what is being said, but now if it is being expected to sit and all, so at least as a respect, we should sit. As a respect, one should hear. and then pay proper attention. So then Krishna within our heart will be very happy that we are not discriminating that this teacher, that teacher, this person, that person. No, no. We have to respect the subject matter. That is important. Drona smiled when he saw Arjuna's determination. His desire to learn was beyond compare. Arjun always carefully worshipped Drona and was attentive to his every command. Right? So submissiveness, humble, that's submissiveness, inquiry, and service. What is that verse? These three things are being said, a quality of a disciple. Submissiveness, service, and inquiry. Anyone knows what is that verse? Famous verse of Bhagavad Gita. How a disciple should approach a student, the guru. How a student should approach a teacher. Oh, really, no one knows? This is the most important. We all are students, especially. We should know how to learn, how to approach our teacher. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
No, no one knows.
Karpanya dosa mahada swabhava.
No, not that. Of course, he surrenders there, but these three things are mentioned in that verse. Submissiveness, then the service, rendering service, and then inquiring the questions. Okay.
Prabhuji, tadviti pranipatena, praniprashnena seve.
4.34. Right? Tadviti pranipatena pariprash. How many of you remember this verse? I'm sure all of you learned this. Right? Tadviti pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. And then upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshi. Then they will give us the knowledge. So Arjuna was always in a respectful mood, worshipped his teacher, was attentive to his every command. Attraction, attention, attachment, affection, absorption, and then affection. So attentiveness is very important. That because that's eagerness means what? I am attentive to learn. I am attentive to understand. So because of his devotion to studies and his guru, he became Drona's favorite student. Great. So all of you know the famous episode of Arjuna and Duryodhana, both approaches to Lord Krishna for help. So Arjuna was not looking for the energy of the Lord. He was looking for the Lord himself. His devotion to the Lord was there. That's what Lord Krishna gave himself to the Arjuna. Whereas Duryodhana was using the Krishna, not wanting Krishna for his relationship with Krishna, but he wanted to use Krishna. Right? So this is important to take a note. Arjuna's qualities, so eagerness, respecting the teacher, being attentive and rendering service, that made Drona favorite student. Arjuna became Drona's favorite student. Once Arjuna was eating his meal at night. Suddenly the lamp blew out. Those days there was no tube light. It was just a lamp lit up. So while taking meal, suddenly that lamp blew off and it became a pitch black. Arjun continued to eat as if nothing had happened. As he did so, he realized that simply by habit, he was able to place the food in his mouth, although he could see nothing in the darkness. Now you take a note, okay? He learns very interesting understanding from this. So how many of you can, right? We become habituated. Even if we close our eyes now and then the dish is kept in front, we put up the mouth and eat. This becomes the habit of chewing the mouth and bringing to us. Because it is a dark now, hands will not go on the forehead. Hands will not go into the ears, right? You all noticed? We can experiment also. You will take your meals now. Close your eyes and then put a meal and all. You will be able to put in mouth, right? So Arjun learned something great from this. Okay, what he noticed, you see. So he then began to practice with his bow and arrows in the night, aiming at invisible targets. So shooting an arrow at a place where there is no visibility also. When Drona saw this dedication, he was overjoyed. He told Arjuna, I shall make you unmatched upon the earth. No warrior shall be your equal. So Drona promised Arjuna, Arjun, your interest to learn is so much that even in the night also you are practicing, you're not ready to stop. And then you are going on. Right? You want to practice even at the night time to, without seeing the targets, you want to achieve the things. So this is that made Drona completely impressed with Arjuna's desire to learn. He was overjoyed. Right? So that eagerness, that submissiveness, rendering service, and then looking on how best I can learn, right? That will really attract the attention of our superiors, our elders, and then Guru Parampara will shower unlimited blessings, and Krishna will become very attracted towards Krishna. So that desire we should keep, the eagerness. So today's title we can give maybe the best qualities, the qualities of an ideal student. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So interesting, right? Although the subject matter is because, and what happens now, this is a secret here. If we keep a habit of doing best, then that will become our nature. Then we'll be able to do best even when we sit for chanting, or even if you go for our schools or our jobs or whatever other work, that best, to do best will become our nature. It's not that somebody has to tell us, Array, I told you to do clean this, but you just clean improperly. What is this? That is so. No, somebody told us to clean, we'll clean so thoroughly, removing the cobwebs and putting a jadu and a brooms and putting a proper water, seeing that no marks are put up, removing all the dust around with the clothes. Not that, okay, you told me to broom, just I put the broom and then finish. No, so that should become our nature of doing best. So Arjun, because he had this quality of doing the best with his studies in his school, right? In a devotion also he was best. He was always wanting to be with the Lord and serve the Lord and follow the Lord. Right? So that's why our teacher was telling, how you study your college books, your school books, one page, you study very properly. Same seriousness you will be able to put when you study Srila Prabhupada's books. Otherwise, here we don't do properly, then that nature will come here also. Here also will not be able to study very properly. We'll also think, okay, fine, I know the things now, and then we'll not learn very properly. Okay, we have many amazing nice courses, and then more we understand Srila Prabhupada's philosophy, more and more realization, convictions will come, and our presentation of Krishna consciousness also become very proper. So for that purpose, one should not be lazy when we do our work. So as a student, we keep a habit of putting best, doing your studies, doing your homeworks, doing all your works, not to be lazy. Arjun was so looking forward for learning, even at night time also he was not ready to sleep. And then surely for Krishna conscious practice, we should never compromise. When you sit for chanting, we should put our best focus, sit erect. We're not like old people, we need a chair or a cot. Sit on a ground, put a mat and sit erect, stand, keeping back erect, and then chanting. You see the posture how our acharyas are sitting, especially Bhakti Dansis Thakuris, Simha Guru, sitting straight and holding on the beads properly. So that's keep a very good practice, and then all your other works also, you do your studies and things, do very seriously. Then it will surely bring a very good culture. Thank you all very much for joining and giving all of your kind association. Let us end with Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhisya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.